Right now, across the country, there are billions of dollars sitting in state treasury databases, dormant bank accounts, forgotten insurance payouts, uncashed dividend checks, old retirement accounts from jobs held years ago and then left behind when life moved on. None of it is gone. All of it has a name attached to it, and some of it, quite possibly a meaningful amount of it, has your name. But here is what most people miss. The reason they never find it isn't because the databases are hard to search. The databases are public. They are free. The search takes minutes. The reason most people never find it, and the reason that even when they do find something, they hesitate before claiming, is a deeper issue entirely. They don't believe they are the kind of person who has unclaimed assets. That belief is the only barrier. Today's protocol addresses it at the quantum level, which is to say, at the identity level. Because identity is where all quantum shifts originate, the person you believe yourself to be determines what you notice, what you reach for, and what you allow to be yours. We are shifting your identity today to include the category of person who finds things, who discovers what was forgotten, who exists in the world as someone for whom dormant value becomes active, not through luck, but through the alignment of who they are with what they are owed. 7 stages: identity, abundance, action, gratitude, worthiness, future self, integration. Each one is a quantum shift, a discrete jump from one version of your self-concept to the next, not a gradual drift, a precise landing in a new place. You are ready. The assets are waiting. Let's begin the recovery. You are the kind of person who discovers things. That is not who you are becoming. It is who you are right now, in this moment, at this identity level. A discoverer is not lucky. Luck implies randomness. A discoverer is someone whose identity is calibrated to notice what others pass over. They walk into a room and see what is sitting in the corner that no one claimed. They run a search and find the dormant account. They read the mail that others throw away and catch the unclaimed property notice buried inside. Notice is the operative word. We notice what matches our identity. We filter out what doesn't. Your current identity may be filtering out abundance that is already tagged with your name. Not because you aren't intelligent, but because the old self-concept didn't include the category, person who has unclaimed wealth waiting. Install that category now. I am someone who has dormant assets becoming active. I am someone whose financial field includes resources I have not yet discovered. I am a discoverer of accounts, of funds, of forgotten investments, of property that legally exists in my name and has been waiting for me to show up and collect it. Feel the slight shift that happens when you let that be true. Something in the peripheral vision of your mind changes. The filter loosens. Things that were invisible become visible. That is the quantum identity shift beginning. Your nervous system is updating its operating profile. The new category is loading. I am a discoverer. I am the kind of person who finds what was waiting for me. Imagine a vast archive, not a cold storage facility, but something older and more luminous, vaulted stone ceilings, rows upon rows of ancient wooden drawers, each one glowing faintly from within with silver light. Each drawer holds an asset, a policy, an account, a dividends check, a deposit, a property interest. Most of the drawers are labeled. Your name appears on some of them. More than you expect. The archive does not judge how long it has been. The drawers stay lit regardless of how many years pass. The system does not close accounts due to inattention. It holds them patiently in that silver light until the person whose name is on the label arrives to open it. This is the nature of unclaimed abundance. It does not expire from impatience. It does not dissipate because you forgot it was there. It holds. Feel the generosity in that. The universe built a system that preserves what is yours, even when you were too busy, too distracted, too convinced you had nothing to find. The abundance was there before you started looking. It will still be there the moment you decide to look. You are deciding right now. The archive is already sorted. The silver drawers with your name on them are already lit. You are not searching a random system for a random prize. You are walking a familiar building toward a specific address. The abundance is specific. It is labeled. It is yours. All you are doing today is remembering how to get there. The action step for unclaimed assets is one of the most concrete available to anyone working with this protocol, because the system is literal. It exists. Missingmoney.com, NAPA, your state's unclaimed property website, the PBGC pension database, the IRS unclaimed refunds page, Social Security, FDIC failed bank records. These are real tools, publicly accessible, containing real money attached to real names. Go there, today. Not next week, today. But here is what changes when you approach those searches from a quantum identity shift rather than casual curiosity. You search as someone who expects to find something, and that expectation changes how thoroughly you look. It changes how many spelling variations of your name you try. It changes whether you search old addresses, maiden names, middle names. It changes whether you follow through on a claim form rather than abandoning it because the paperwork feels like effort. Expectation is the engine of thorough action. And beyond the databases, there are accountants who specialize in finding lost assets. There are attorneys who work on contingency for unclaimed property recovery. There are estate administrators still managing accounts from relatives who left no instructions. The action ecosystem is larger than most people realize. You are someone who acts in this ecosystem from certainty. You are not hoping. You are completing a process that is already underway. The specific action: search one database today. Not all of them. One. Do it completely, thoroughly, as a person who already knows something is there. Then report back. The discoveries come to those who look. You found it. The amount doesn't matter for this exercise because the emotional truth is the same whether it is $40 or $40,000. You found something that was yours and had been waiting. Feel what that moment felt like. The slight disbelief followed by the clear recognition, the account number in the system that matches an old address, the policy from a job you had in your 20s that you had completely forgotten, the stock certificate from a grandfather's estate that no one knew how to process. Thank you for the system that preserved it, for the people who built the databases, for the dormant abundance that had the patience to wait for you. And thank you for the version of yourself who decided to look, who listened to the protocol, who did the search, who didn't dismiss the result as too small to matter or too bureaucratic to pursue. That version of yourself is the one who understood that the act of claiming is more important than the amount because the act of claiming rewires the identity. Every time you claim what is yours, no matter how forgotten, how old, how modest the sum, you confirm the new identity at the cellular level. You become more deeply with each confirmation someone who finds things, someone for whom dormant value becomes active. The gratitude here is not just for the asset recovered. It is for the person you are becoming through the act of recovery. Thank you for the discovery. Thank you for the recoveries already in motion. There is a specific flavor of unworthiness that attaches to forgotten money, a strange guilt about claiming something you didn't keep track of as though the forgetting disqualifies you, as though abundance requires vigilance to remain legitimate. It doesn't. The policy is yours because you are named on it, not because you memorized its terms. The account is yours because you opened it, not because you kept the paperwork. The property interest is yours by legal right, not because you monitored it annually. Forgetting is human. The systems that hold your assets were designed precisely because forgetting is human. They are not traps, they are archives. And claiming from an archive is not a lesser form of receiving. It is receiving in full, exactly as intended. You are worthy of the forgotten assets just as completely as you are worthy of the ones you tracked. There is no hierarchy of deserving based on attentiveness. Let that be simple and true for a moment. You don't need to have been a perfect steward of every financial thread in your history to claim what the thread leads to now. You need only to be the person whose name is on the account, and you are. The worthy receiver does not disqualify themselves on a technicality. They show up. They submit the form. They accept the check with the same calm they would bring to any other transaction that was always theirs to complete. You are worthy. Claim it without apology. All of it. The version of you who has completed the recovery lives differently in small ways that compound into large ones. They check in with their financial accounts quarterly, not anxiously, but the way you check in with a garden, with calm attention and genuine curiosity. They respond to mail they used to throw away. They follow up on things they used to let slide, not because they became a different personality, but because the identity of discoverer is now installed, and discoverers stay curious about what else might be waiting. That future self is not uptight about money. They are not obsessive. They are simply present to the field. They know from lived experience that unclaimed value surfaces regularly for those who look for it, and so they look lightly, the way someone keeps one ear open for their name being called in a room. That version of you is generous, because recovery teaches something important. Abundance was always more present than the old story said, and once you know that, once you have personally found the evidence, generosity becomes natural. You share because scarcity has been disproven in your own experience. You are allowed to become that person now. You do not need to wait until after the recovery to claim the identity. The identity is the cause. The recovery is the effect. Step into the curiosity. Step into the calm attentiveness. Step into the version of yourself who finds things because they believe things are waiting to be found. They are, and so are you. 7 quantum shifts, 1 new operating identity. You came into the session carrying a version of yourself that may have believed, without quite knowing it, that forgotten money wasn't for you, that the databases were for other people, that the recovery process was too complicated, too speculative, or not worth the energy for whatever small amount might be found. That version of you has been updated. You are now the discoverer. You are now the person who finds what was waiting. You are the person who approaches a state treasury database with the quiet confidence of someone completing an errand rather than attempting a lottery. You are the person who fills out the claim form and sends it without drama, because that is simply what people do when they find something with their name on it. And more broadly, the identity shift we ran today extends beyond unclaimed property databases. It extends to any dormant financial channel, any forgotten arrangement, any relationship where value was exchanged and not fully honored. The quantum shift is that you now include yourself in the category of person for whom dormant abundance becomes active. That is not a small shift. That is an operating system update. Integration means carrying this into the body, the daily movement, the small choices, the mail you read more carefully, the email you follow up on, the account you log into, the search you actually run. The archive is lit with silver light and your name is on some of the drawers. Go find them. Until next time, keep expanding. Before you do anything else, go to missingmoney.com or your state's unclaimed property website and run your name right now. It takes 3 minutes. Come back to the comments and tell us what you found. Even if it's nothing today, tell us you looked, because the act of looking is the protocol in action. You showed up as a discoverer. That counts. That compounds. And if you found something, even something small, drop it below. Those comments are one of the most powerful things in this community. When someone reads that you found an old account from 2009 with $400 in it, their brain updates, their filter loosens, their search gets more thorough. You help people find money by finding yours. Subscribe and share this episode with anyone who has ever moved, changed jobs, or inherited from someone who left loose ends. That is most people. Most people have something waiting. Until next time, keep expanding.